So hello, I'm a researcher working on privacy and data protection law and surveillance. So this is basically the same subject as the colleagues before, terrorists, PNR, all this stuff that is quite depressing. It can get depressing, not very cheerful. So one day I was at the office working on this stuff and somebody saw me and said, well, actually I have now a project that could be interesting for you. It's a cheerful project because it's about children, about how can we teach privacy and data protection to children and teenagers in schools. So indeed I said, well, that could be nice. That could be nice. I know children and teenagers are not always nice. They are not always cheerful. But there's an important thing about them, and it's that I really think that they actually like privacy. They think they really care for privacy. Perhaps some grown-ups we still don't understand it, but they do. They have this natural sense of the importance of privacy. So I said, yes, let's go ahead. Let's do this project. Now, in all these kind of projects, before you can start working on your project, you have to say what the others have been doing. There's a lot of material, there's a lot of education about privacy and data protection for children, but actually the problem for me was when I started getting depressed again, is that there is very little that it's actually about focusing on how we teach privacy. Most of the materials that we have are actually about online safety. So we want to protect children and teenagers from the dangers of the internet. This is why we actually apparently have to teach them about the right to privacy and the right to data protection. So what is exactly this online safety thing? I will explain in a nutshell. So this is basically the idea of online safety for children. You are a potato, maybe you think you're a strong potato. If you go online, things will turn out bad. This is basically the message that we're given to everybody. And I just brought some examples to explain how this happens in practice. And so you will understand very quickly. Yes, so actually online safety is this basic message with a sort of also blaming, saying, well, it was not your fault, but you probably should know better. So it's this, of course, if they knew better, they will not be children or teenagers, they will be just full grown-ups. But this is the message of online safety. In a way, it's a little bit your fault, and you should be behaving differently. So this is the first example is a German comic strip, and this little animal is very sad because somebody stole his bike. You will want to say, oh, don't be sad, this is just bad luck. But one of his friends says, well, maybe it's your fault because you have been posting pictures of your bike to your friends, and your address was there. And so they make some investigations with the friends. Was it really my fault? Was it really my fault? And actually, it was his fault because this guy came to repair the washing machine, and then the little children have left the laptop unattended, and he had not logged off from his social network. So I don't know how this is his fault. There are lessons to be learned about this, about online safety, and this is the messages that we are spreading. This is very, very difficult to follow. This is a Hungarian music film. We have a singer singing. We have a girl with a smartphone. We have a guy with a car, and a girl with a computer. Now be prepared because things are in 1 minute of the video of a music thing that they get more complicated. You will see, somebody will survive. So the singer keeps singing, then the girl with the smartphone starts posting pictures of herself with glasses on Facebook probably. The guy is taking selfies of himself with the car, and the girl receives a visit from a guy, maybe he knows this guy, that's calling her. We don't understand the story because the singer keeps singing, but something bad could happen, and indeed the girl with the smartphone is bitten, the smartphone is stolen, the guy is beaten by 2 guys, the car is robbed, and the girl actually gets raped. All this in one single song about online safety. And the singer is very, very, very sad. So, yes. So you thought internet was fun, and yes, sometimes people think it's fun, but of course they are mistaken. When you think it's fun, it's about uploading stupid videos, making stupid videos and putting them online. This is a temporal perception that you have, but you should know that this can have very, very dramatic consequences on your practical life. For instance, if you do this stupid thing, you will be traumatized. I mean, your mother will hate you because yes, the video will spread everywhere. People will laugh at you, your father will cry, and yes, and during many, many days you will just be obsessed with these people, that people are watching you online doing some stupid things. And the message that we're giving is that this is not going to end very easily. So many, many years later, you will be a hipster, and you will be still annoyed by the fact that on YouTube, this image of you doing some stupid thing is there. So this is the message that we're also giving. The internet does not forget. We tell to children, the internet does not forget. Be careful. But what do we know as privacy and data protection experts? that internet must sometimes forget. We know it. It's a right that we have. So the whole point of my thing is that maybe we should, at a certain point, tell this to the children. That somebody, of course, online safety, there are many, many risks online, but somebody should tell them at a certain point that they do have some rights. That they do have, we don't want them to be at risk, but this is the reason why we have to tell them that they have rights, that there are laws, and they have to be strong enough and knowledge, they have to have the knowledge to use them. So yes, they do have these rights. They have the right to privacy, they have the right to personal data protection, they have probably the right to take pictures of their bike, to share these pictures with their friends, take pictures of themselves, have a computer, have a visit from somebody. Probably, it was said before, they have the right to be a hipster when they are grown up. They have the right to do stupid things now. And not only they have the rights, but we know they need it. They will need those to know that they have them in the future, and actually, especially, children need the protection of their privacy even more than us. We are probably under surveillance, but they are under the surveillance of their own parents. They are under surveillance of their own toys, so they really, really need to know about these privacy rights. So my basic message is don't scare them, make them strong enough so they will be the ones that will scare the others. Thank you very much. That's my message.